Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Ellie and I'm standing here with Chef Scott and we're coming in from San Francisco today. It is a lovely day. So we do have the chat open. We are a little pinched for time today. So if you have any questions while we do this, please just drop it in the Slack chat. We'll be able to read those. And I'm gonna hand over to Scott. We're gonna start making some tachos.
Thanks, Ellie. Hi everybody, how are you? So glad to see you today. We're gonna be making some tachos, some all kinds of tater tot things today. My waffle iron is making some noise. Please pardon that. What we're going to be doing is actually starting off with a tater tot BLT, moving on into a Southwestern tater tot casserole. Then I have a surprise for later. Okay, so let's get started. The first, after this gets done beating, it'll be just a second. I want to talk to you about tater tots and how they cook. We're going to be using a waffle iron here to actually start. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get some tater tots. These are actually tater tots that are thawed out. This is really important. If you put frozen tater tots to start off in a waffle iron like this, it's not going to work out really well. Please don't do that. So first thing I want to do is actually grab some nonstick cooking spray. This is actually a canola oil. And I'm going to go ahead and spray my waffle iron really well with that, because that oil interaction really adds to the crispness of the tater tots. And then what I'm really going to do is go ahead and place tater tots on top of the waffle. Now, I've seen this done before in ways, and people get all organized about this and they make sure it looks pretty.
Just a quick question there,
Yeah,
Scott. If someone at home doesn't have a waffle iron, what's another way they could do this?
I think there's a panini press works really well too.
Oh, good
yeah,
idea.
So waffle iron, panini press, go for it. Yeah. So what I want to do though, what I'm doing here is making sure that the surface of my waffle iron / panini press is fully covered, so that there's no holes in my waffle when it's done, because we're going to be pressing down on this and it's going to start cooking. You're going to love it. And I want to make sure that it cooks whole. So
you got them all covered there.
I do, don't I? There you go.
Oh,
so
good.
I'm sure you can probably see this on the overhead, but it's all covered really well. So I'll put this over here. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and close this, press down on it nice and tight. I'm going to flip it over, and then what I'm going to do, because I've done this before, is I'm going to set my alarm for 10 minutes. Now, please pardon me while I do this. Siri, set an alarm for 10 minutes.
Nice and fancy.
Your alarm is set for 12:47.
There she
There she
Thank you,
goes.
Siri. Sorry, that is not an endorsement. Anyway, so there's that. So that is going. So we're off to a good start. Now, while that cooks, I'm going to review the rest of the ingredients. We're actually going to make something to get ready for this and proceed from there. So in your recipe, you're going to see that that there's an indicator for some good old-fashioned mayonnaise and some chopped garlic. Now, keep in mind, when you ever see the word aioli on a recipe or a menu in a restaurant, it's just a fancy name for mayonnaise. It's eggs. I'm sorry, egg yolks and oil and some lemon juice. It's really all mayonnaise really is. You can make it at home. Super easy to do. I have a cup of mayonnaise here, and I'm going to go ahead and dump this in another bowl. And for this yummy recipe, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take some garlic that I've got chopped here, and it's about 4 cloves chopped really well. I'm going to go ahead and add this to it just like that, and I'm going to get a whisk from over here, and then what I'm going to do then is just whisk this together, Ellie. It's quite simple. Just go ahead and make sure I get all the garlic and the mayonnaise done. Now, mayonnaise should actually be cold. This came out of the refrigerator about 25-30 minutes ago. I like it better at room temperature. It actually takes on the flavor more. You can actually get a little pinch of salt if you want, and go ahead and add this in.
You said there's about 4 cloves of garlic.
Yeah, 4 cloves of garlic. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. So it just ends up doing that. Now, the great thing about this is if you do this early and let this sit, the flavors of the garlic really meld with the aioli / mayonnaise really, really well. Emily, what I'm going to have you do is go ahead and taste this.
Yeah.
What do you think of this? We're going to taste this now.
I'm a big aioli person. This
Are
is
you?
exciting for me. Yeah.
Go ahead. There you go.
Thank you. Nice big.
Sorry, it's a big piece.
Mm.
Pretty good, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as this sits out, it's gonna the flavors are going to meld and become really, really awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and let that sit really well. As far as other ingredients that are gonna go in this BLT, I'm gonna move this over here now. I've actually got some really great romaine lettuce. I've got some smoked bacon here, which is my absolute favorite. And I've got some sliced tomato and not normally found in a BLT. I've got some white cheddar that I've had grated as well. So we've got a couple of ingredients here to go. Yeah. So that's what we've got here for this BLT. Now, what I want to do first is I really want to go through and talk about how we're going to build this. Now, when I make a BLT out of tater tots, you're going to use 2 of these waffles we're making here in the waffle iron. So by the magic of television, I just happen to have one already done. I'm going to get that from behind me. It's right here. So I've got this one ready to go. So in a few minutes, I'm going to be actually spreading this with the aioli, and we're going to start building this so that it's perfectly timed so we can actually go ahead and start building this BLT. You know, it's funny. I didn't know a lot about tater tots until recently. They were actually founded by a company that was and their last name was the Griggs family, founded a company called Ore-Ida Potatoes. They were born in Ontario, Oregon.
Okay.
And back in 1953, so a long time, back when it was the advent of frozen food. Okay. So it's pretty cool. And really all the Griggs family wanted to do with their Ore-Ida product really was just make frozen potatoes and hash browns and stuff. And they really had no idea that they wanted to make tater tots. Right. But they also saw that they had all this leftover potato matter that came out of the production of French fries.
I'm thankful for that.
So what they did is they actually said, what if we were to add some binders and some binders to this and some seasonings and extrude it through a press, kind of like they make pressed pasta, and chop it off and then bake them a little bit and then sell them that way. And they did, and it wasn't a big hit at first, which is kind of interesting. People didn't want to buy them until they got some marketing going and they raised the price a little bit, and suddenly it became this thing, which is pretty cool. So that's what happened.
You just taught me something new.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So fast forward 60 years. Tater tots are now everywhere. Have you ever seen a kid's menu on a restaurant that doesn't have tater tots? No. I have not. So yeah, that's what's going on there. As it turns out, they sold the company in 1965 to a larger firm, but they've made them all, and they become this national treasure. People eat them all the time. I love them. I love them. And they're good for breakfast, lunch, dinner. It doesn't matter.
They're on the menu. I'm thinking about them. That's for sure.
It's really good too. Yeah. So I'm looking at my waffle iron / panini press, and what I'm seeing here while this cooks, there's some steam coming off of this. What this means to me is that the water in the potatoes is actually disappearing. That's what I want to see. By and large, when this steam starts happening, I'm going to start seeing some caramelization on the potatoes, which is exactly what I want to see.
That'll give it that crunch, correct?
That nice crispy crunch we want to see. Now, have you ever had a waffle iron tater tot before?
I actually have not, so I'm very excited.
You are going to love this. You're going to love this. It's really good stuff. Yeah, so really good time. This is really good. So the chat also too, friends, as Ellie said, the Slack channel is open if you have any questions for us. We would love to see those. And I push about vegetarian, remove the bacon. Yeah, exactly. Michelle, thank you for that. You don't have to make this with bacon. You could actually, I made it at home too with vegetarian friends. I've actually taken sauteed peppers and onions together, nice big strips, kind of really, really nice and well done, and laid that in here as well. However, I think bacon's one of the 4 food groups.
Absolutely.
So there is that. All right. So while this finishes up cooking, let's go ahead and get this waffle ready to go. So when this is done, we'll be ready to rock and roll. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I've got my my first waffle here. I'm going to go ahead and grab a spatula. Now this has had a nice chance to go ahead and become really good friends. So I'm going to go ahead and start to spread some of this aioli on this. Now, if you don't use all your aioli on your in the recipe that you've got on this, keep this in your refrigerator. It'll keep for a while, and as time goes on, it will taste better and better. Now, you see, sometimes if you don't get them exactly together, like I did on the earlier part, they'll come apart a little bit. But have no fear; it will all work out. It's kind of hard to mess these up, so I got this spread out pretty well, kind of evenly. Can you smell that? See how that smells?
That aioli smells delicious.
All right, there we go. Step 1 down. Now, for the meat eaters in the crew, we're going to go ahead and grab the bacon. Again, this is a hickory smoked bacon. I love this. I'm going to go ahead and grab all of this off of here. And what I'm going to do is take a look. I was going to look at sizing. So I'm looking at my bacon strips. This looks actually pretty good. This is actually a larger format waffle iron. So I'm going to go ahead and just start to place these. I might go ahead in one direction, not lose the group.
So
Place
is
this
there
in
any rhyme
here.
or reason or just placing them in there just
Yeah.
to fit correctly?
Exactly. Now, yeah, get this in here first. Now, I'm a fan of bacon, so I'm going to go ahead and load this all in here.
Okay. Yeah, don't hesitate.
Yeah, me and bacon, we are buddies.
Besties.
Besties. They're like that. We're looking really, really good. All right, and so next then we've got let's go ahead and load in the tomato next. This happens last. Let's go ahead and grab that happens last. We're gonna go ahead and load the tomato in here like this. I'm going to go ahead and cover this up like this.
That looks really good.
Really good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. Isn't that perfect? Thank you very much. And then last but not least, I'm gonna go ahead and
The L.
the lettuce. This is actually romaine lettuce. I think it's my favorite. I'll go ahead and lay some of this in here too. Now again, if you're at home, don't like any of this stuff, you may have stuff at home you like in your fridge. Feel free to use that. This is not written in stone. Remember, cooking's supposed to be fun, inventive. I always look for what I have in the house before I go buy anything. Avocado would be a nice ad, wouldn't it? I'm going to give you this back. So we're ready to go. We've only got one section left. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over and let's take a look at how we're doing here in waffle land. So this is fancy. It flips over. See how that's looking? Oh, it's looking really good, isn't it? So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. It's got some nice caramelization in here. Before I do that, what I want to do is go ahead and put some cheese on top of this.
Oh yeah, don't hesitate with the cheese.
Yeah, please no. So see that nice caramelization? It's from a nice hot waffle iron. Again, for me, this takes about 10 minutes, but I check sometimes because sometimes temperatures of the Tots, remember the Tots are room temperature. It won't work when they're frozen. It won't crisp. You will not be happy. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Then it like that. Let this just melt for a second. There's my timer.
There we go.
There we go.
So look at how nicely that's melting already.
Yeah. Michelle, get me on overhead because people can watch how this looks. I'm going to go ahead and slide this off the plate here a little bit like that because I'm going to cut this in just a minute. This takes a second longer to melt. Yeah, let's get this in a little hotter. There we go.
Ooh.
No magic of TV here. This is going to melt in real time. It's good stuff. So this look good. Doesn't look good.
That looks good. I'm excited.
I know, me too. See, it's melting around the edge,
Yeah,
a
it
little
looks
caramelization.
really good.
Good stuff, good stuff. All right, so in the interest of time, let's go ahead and get this pulled out of here. Turn my waffle iron off.
Room for it?
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and start to look for a corner and try to keep the waffle together. So I don't want any parts to break off. I got it, Ellie. It's good. That's good. Yeah, watch. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off of here.
Perfect.
Place that like, look at that. This a little snack for later. Okay.
Souvenir.
Right.
That's looking great.
Looking really good. That's it. This is melted really nicely. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab this cooked waffle and I'm going to place this on top of here like
Wow,
that. Look
look
at
at
that. Okay. Now the fun starts.
Mm.
Now the
Sweet
fun starts. See,
cheese.
and it might start to come apart a little bit. That is okay. I've got 4.
I have to do that.
Yeah. So let it sit for a second if you can. We're going to go ahead and cut this now. So I'm going to, you see there's actually, Ellie, see there's 4 pieces here.
Makes it easy.
I'm going to go ahead and
So
take my
follow the
knife, natural
divide
contour
the-
of the waffle. Oh, the waffle. Yeah.
Ooh,
For
that's
4
looking
items.
good.
Like that. Push that down like that through the bacon and
Look at
everything.
that crunch.
For that, it just looks delicious. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this through the hot waffle first. There you go.
Oh man, I am so excited for this. That's
And
looking
then,
good.
so look, let's take a look at let's show this to our friends on the front camera. Let's take a look at how this looks. You can see this. See all the lovely little layers there. There we go. There's a couple pieces here like this. Now, this is a meal right here, my friends. This is really, truly a meal. So yeah, go ahead and, one will easily serve 4 people for brunch. You can go ahead and cut the other 2. Now, have no fear. If they fall apart a bit like this, you can take a fork to it. It eats the same. You're going to love it. Look at that gooey
Look at
cheese.
that.
But let's go ahead and take a look at this.
There you
And
go.
we've got some nice pieces here. Now, Ellie, if you want to go ahead and just take a bite of that, you can.
I would love to.
Look at that. Just be careful. Make it a little warm.
A little warm, but that
And
makes
while
it
you do that,
great.
I'm gonna get cleaned up a little bit here.
I'm gonna give this a test bite. Excuse me,
Yeah.
everyone.
Is that delicious?
Mhm.
Yeah, the flavor of the aioli really, really stands through. It comes out
That's my
really
lucky
great.
day.
Isn't that good?
Uh-huh.
I love tachos. Good. Well, while you enjoy that, I want to go on to our next recipe because I want to get moving
Let
here.
me help you. How can I help you?
Yeah, we're good. So I'm just gonna grab something behind me. So in the oven here, I pre-made recipe number 2. And what this is, you can get me on overhead, this is actually a tot casserole. So a Southwestern top casserole. This is kind of a fun thing to make. It's layers of chicken, black beans, onions, red bell peppers, corn, some cheese in here, some cheddar cheese. And what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab a plate of this. I'm going to go ahead and I want to serve you some of this. Okay, and I want you to try all of this.
It's
So
my lucky day.
it is. I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Now, also what I can do is I'm going to go ahead and serve this to you. I'm going to go ahead and grab my garnishes that I had a second ago. Where my garnishes go? There we go. Yeah. Put those right up here. And then I've got some salsa here. I've got some avocado, some freshly diced avocado, and I've got some green onions. So what I'm going to do is go ahead. Are you a salsa fan?
I am.
Okay. Put some salsa on top of this. This is a salsa rojo. It's kind of a nice southwestern flavor to it. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab, pardon my fingers.
Oh no, don't worry.
A little.
We're friends here.
We're friends here, right? A little bit of onion, and then finally some lovely slices of avocado goes on top of there. And here's a spoon.
Thank you.
Go ahead and take a bite of this. Tell me what you think.
Well, gladly.
Now that is smoked chicken and all kinds of lovely goodness. You grab a piece? There you go. Taste the flavors. Get a little bite into that. It's got 2 layers of tachos in there, baked together. It's delicious. Now, if you ever have friends over, game time, easy dinner at home that your kids are going to love, because all kids love tots. I think it's a universal truth. This is one really great way to, and this can be created really quick.
That's great for game day too.
Yeah, it is. But I want to show you one other thing, which is even better. So let me start off. I'm going to put this back where it came from.
Right.
Ellie, I'm going to ask you to grab that platter over there.
Works.
We have a lot happening here in the kitchen today. And I just want to let you know, so what I've got here in front of me is the exact same ingredients you have in your recipe. And so it's actually all this right here, minus this. Let's get rid of that. And I'm going to show you what you can do with these tots as well. Now, you can make
There we go.
what I call tachos.
Yum.
So using the same ingredients, there's cheddar, you can use the cheddar cheese in the recipe as well. You're going to use the chicken, the corn, beans, the red bell pepper, and the onion and the garnish. It's exactly the same way. But I'm going to show you what I like to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab some of this chicken and put it on top of here like this. She actually grabbed some of that over there. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these beans that we have over here, these wonderful warm cooked and drained black beans. Isn't that nice color? Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Now, when you build, now one thing I do want to say is when you build tachos, you want to build them exactly, or even nachos for that matter, you should build them the same way you build a taco. And I build a taco, cheese goes in last. So keep that in mind. All right, so go ahead and do that like that. Put some of this lovely corn. I love the contrast of the corn too. Look at that. So
using presentation, you taught me that.
people eat with their eyes first.
Yes.
There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. For the final achievement, almost. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of this yummy nacho cheese sauce. Now, nacho cheese sauce is a beautiful thing. Get me on front view, Michelle. Thanks. It's a beautiful thing. Now, I have made nacho cheese sauce at home before. I've come up with a recipe for it. I come up with an almost healthy version using all kinds of really great organic dairy cheeses, all kinds of stuff. But I have to say, unfortunately, when it comes to nacho cheese sauce, we're all used to a certain flavor profile, which I've got here. So yeah, so when you go to a baseball game and you order your nachos and you walk over to the container and you push that thing, that lever, and the nacho cheese comes out, it's a flavor I think that America's used to.
Yes.
Although, you know, and I think it's great for certain occasions, certain game days, certain times of the year. Now, this is one of my favorite things to make, actually, when I have friends over for like football games or whatever there is to do. I love doing this, especially Super Bowl. I like to do. So whenever I create one of these tachos, I try to do it in 2 layers. Oh, and one thing I forgot to say, in the previous recipe, there is some taco seasoning in it. So what I did prior to joining you today, I actually tossed the tachos in. I tossed the tater tots in some taco seasoning, and I put them in the oven and cooked as directed by the bag for about 10-15 minutes, got them crispy. And the taco seasoning really flavors the potato products. We got that going for us as well.
That's a great
Then
idea.
I always hold some out. I put a layer down first because I want to do it in 2 layers, and I'll hold some out. Then I'll go ahead and place those other ones on top of this. If you get me on, if I'm on top view,
Yeah.
I kind of want to get some more on top of here. And I might add a little more chicken, pardon my fingers, a little bit on top of here, and maybe some more of this yummy corn.
The color looks
Yeah, the color looks great, right? And for sure, some additional black beans on top of here. I love that yellow and gold contrast. There we go. A little more bell pepper too, I love it so much. Then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take everyone's favorite, this nacho cheese sauce. I'm going to go ahead and pour this over the top of this. Look, now watch me do this.
Wow.
There you go. It's going to seep in. Look at this. It's going to seep all over the place. Look at this.
That looks great.
There you go. And if you get too yellow, what I'm going to do is add some more color on top of it again. I'll use my fingers. Hope you don't mind.
No, not at all.
Put some more corn on top of here as well. And then we're almost ready to go. What's left from the kit is we've got some green onion. Again, we've got some chopped avocado and some salsa. I'm going to go ahead. You're a Spice Girl, right?
Yeah.
Which one are you?
All of them, I guess. For this, I'm all of them.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and put some. That's pretty funny.
That
I'm
got
going to
me.
go ahead and put some of this on top of here like this. Now look at how good this looks. I don't know who's not going to want to dig into this. And a little bit of green onion on top of that. And guess what comes last? Everyone's favorite, some avocado. And then like this. Look at this. That looks wonderful.
That looks absolutely amazing.
And also, what we can do too is if you want to leave this on the side, if guests want to, I'm gonna do it all together here. But if you want to leave this on the side for guests to serve themselves out of this mountain of tachos, you can actually put it on a plate themselves.
That could be fun, like a build your own.
Yeah,
That could be fun.
but I want to show you really like in the camera above what
Look
we've
at
got
that.
here is a beautiful plate of game time tachos, Southwest flavor, using all the same ingredients we used in the casserole, just in a different way. So keep that recipe, friends. Really use this because it really is an easy way to have friends over, easy to fix. Everyone loves it.
Yeah, that's
And it's
great.
delicious. You want to try some?
I do.
Okay, let me get a plate
Yes. Got my little.
for both of us. I'm going to grab a spoon here.
There we go.
You like it already, aren't
I
you?
am. I am.
All right. For those of you at home or joining us today, please don't be jealous. Isn't
I
it
would
good?
be.
Look at that. I think it looks pretty good,
That
doesn't
looks
it?
great.
See how that comes out? Look at that beautiful plate. And again, as I said, if you want some more salsa, was there a sassy spice? There wasn't, was there?
No, I
I'm
don't
probably
think
too old
sporty.
for that. Sporty. Which one was Victoria Beckham? Which one was she?
Posh.
Posh, there you go. How did you know this? I'll take Spice Girls for 200, please. All right.
I'm digging in.
I'm gonna go ahead and grab me some too. What do you think? Again, really, if you want to go ahead and grab some more, anything other garnish or whatever, you can go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go grab a spoon myself. That's good. Pretty good. Huh? Take a bite of this.
I love the salsa on top. That's a really nice finishing touch with the cheese.
Yeah, nice. So, sugar is really good. So, one thing I do have to say about chicken in this dish, this is chicken breast. I much prefer it actually more than chicken thigh. When I cook this, I try to poach it so it actually stays moist versus roasting it or pan frying or whatever. I always poach it in a liquid, then I let it cool, and then I pull it apart. It just tastes better. I also poach it also in chicken stock as well. So we can add some spice to that. I like a layer of spice in the poaching liquid. It's actually going to infuse the chicken with some additional flavor. So yeah, so that really is
Tacho time.
Tacho time, tacho time, and we've got tater tots 3 different ways. Pretty good, huh? Do we have any questions in our chat? We have a few seconds left. Some of the tater tots. Thank you, Peter. That's really, really great. So yeah, I think we're just about done today. We hope you, thanks so much for joining us. We'll take care. We'll see you later.